This video is going to go over how to calculate your personal net worth using the net worth worksheet. The one thing that I would like to note is this worksheet is kind of a condensed version. It would be very easy for this to be a multi-page document, but I wanted to simplify it because we can accomplish the ultimate goal here, which is to set a benchmark for where we're at so that we can determine what it's going to take to get where we're going. I'm going to go over this briefly and then just take the time to fill it out, and then we can cover it on the associated phone call. So first off are your assets. This entire sheet is assets. Again, items are condensed. If you are an entrepreneur and you have your own business, I am going to ask that you kind of combine some of the elements of your business with other assets. So for example, if you have cash in a personal checking account, savings account, and cash in a business account that's not currently allocated towards some expense or future need, then when we talk about cash and bank accounts, just put it all together. Again, I'm trying to simplify this so that we can get to a good starting point. Some of the other type of cash asset accounts, money market accounts, savings bonds, CDs, cash value of life insurance. When you go through the worksheet, if you don't find a category for your asset, find the best related category or write it off to the side. The whole goal is just this total asset line towards the bottom. Invested assets, brokerage account. This would be something that's a non-retirement based account. I probably need to change that to brokerage. Do you own any cryptocurrency? That's of course more common these days. Private placements are investments in companies that are not public, but you do believe at some point we'll have a liquidity event that will make them public. So like a Reg A, an S1 filing. Your ultimate reason for investing was for liquidity, not necessarily cash flow, which would come under business ownership interests. These can be investments in things on Start Engine, EquityZen, or other private placements that you've done, maybe if you have a broker that helps you do those. And then again, other investments. What other investments haven't we listed? Note that real estate's going to be covered here in a second. Retirement assets. Let's take all of the different retirement accounts that you might have and put them together. If you have a Roth, a SEP, a 401k, a solo 401k, a COA, whatever you have, just combine all those numbers together in one line. Now, why do we have those separate from other invested assets? Because they have an opportunity to grow. And if you've done right, mostly grow tax-free, which means we're going to work to max those out in our underlying planning as we work towards our wealth goal. Now, business ownership interests. Do you own real estate, rental properties, or are you part of a real estate investment trust? I think I might have spelled that wrong. Your personal company estimated value. Okay, now I'm going to be careful here. There is no magic formula for valuing or for creating the value base for your company. A company is only worth what other people will pay. There are formulas online that you can find. There are multiples that you can look at. I always think that at the very least, if you do 1 times your net earnings and add in the salary of owners. So let's say your company does $500,000 a year. You take in $250,000 personally of that, and then you have another $100,000 in profit. If you were to say that that business is worth $350,000, the $250 you took plus the $100 net, which you'll probably end up taking as a disbursement or using it and invest into future business activities, is a decent estimated value. If you have a technology company, your multiple may be significantly higher than 1, but you can't really go wrong with 1. I will also say this though, companies with less than $1 million in revenue aren't all that sellable. So while we will calculate it, you have to keep that in mind. Are you part of any partnerships or any non-operation interests? Non-operation interests would mean maybe you were an angel investor in a company that you have warrants or rights to cash flow. Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank is really famous for doing this. He loves to invest, but he wants X dollars per unit sold in order to get his money back. Some other assets. What is the principal value of your home? That's the total value. So if your home's worth $250,000 and you owe $200,000 on it, you're going to write the $250 here, and we're going to put the $200 down under liabilities. Do you have a vacation home? Do you own any vehicles or boats that have value? Any of your home furnishings, collectibles? Do you collect art, coins, books? I always like to put, like, let's say that you have silver bars, gold bars, that are actual physical hold items. You put those under collectibles. or any other jewelry. Like maybe you have an engagement ring or a priceless, not a priceless, a valuable bracelet or something that you can put on here. Get all of this listed. And again, if it's something, if you have something that doesn't fit into a category, just get it down so we can get our total asset number. Now let's talk about liabilities. Do you have any credit card debt, both business and personal? Put it down. Do you owe any estimated taxes? Do you have any other outstanding bills that you can think of? Long-term debt, home mortgage or an equity loan, mortgages on rental or commercial properties, lines of credit, car loans, student loans, loans against life insurance, or any other long-term debt. Again, I looked up a document like this from Charles Schwab, and it was like 11 pages long. We don't really need to go that in depth. So write down your total liabilities. Now, the most important thing, your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. Write down that number. We need this number when we start to create a strategy for your long-term goals, because this is really the starting point. You can't design your long-term goals and a path to get there unless you know where you're starting. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You should find a link on this page to either come over to the In Search of Wealth page or to download this document directly. Appreciate you. Peace.